morning everyone, it's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. We're going to use the Mythic Tarot for your reading. I always say the Mythic Tarot was very, very popular probably about 12 months ago. I think everybody had a deck of this. It was the flavour of the time. Beautiful deck. So I pulled it out yesterday. I thought, I haven't used that for a while. I'll re-romance that tarot. So I brought it back to re-romance it. All right. Okie dokie, where are we going? Oh, we have the Hermit card coming through. Maybe we all need a little bit of Hermit at the moment. The Hermit is the card of Virgo. This is the energy of needing to take time out. Now, sometimes it really is about like, just let the world go away. I'm going to go and hide in my cave and I want no interference. At other times, we sort of pick and choose when to do this Hermit energy. So we may choose to sort of go and, you know, curl up in a place somewhere and let the world go by. Sometimes it's because we need to understand what we're feeling or thinking. We may be doing deep meditation, going deep inside, trying to understand direction. And I always feel like, especially with the light in this card, that it's a lot about our own self-work. You know, really looking deep inside of us to see who we are, searching for those parts of us that we've hidden away or that we aren't aware of. So it's very much about like mindfulness, taking time out, and creating the future that you want to have by working through your own energies. It's very much about self-reflection, healing, and I really feel like Spirit is talking about discovery. So I really feel it is about you discovering something about yourself that maybe you've kept hidden from the world. All right, we have the Judgment card. Oh, I feel like you're preparing for something now. So you may be taking time out. You may know that you need to take time out for something because you're preparing for something here with this Judgment card. You're preparing for something to come forward. You can feel it. You know it's happening. You know it's sort of, you know it in your intuition. You know that something is about to happen or something is about to come forward or you're going to be faced with something. And I feel like you want to be prepared here. It's almost like this energy of getting ready for something, like having that little bit of a time out, knowing that you've got maybe a big day ahead or whatever else. So it's definitely feeling like that. Yeah, okay. I feel like for some of you, you've got somebody coming in here and you know that somebody's coming. We all sense that. We all sense that. We can feel somebody in our energy. We can feel somebody in our energy here. Could be a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. For some of you, although the Queen of Pentacles isn't for me a mother figure, Queen of Cups is generally like that. I feel like you may be preparing for some sort of conversation with somebody who you could see as a mother figure or even a partner. But I feel like there's an energy of giving something a second chance, giving something a go. Maybe you've worked a lot with that Hermit on your forgiveness. Maybe you've started to understand something deep within you, but I feel like here this may be for you a female figure or a feminine figure in your life that you've got unresolved issues with that you're pulling forward to have this, because there's some sort of restart here. Yeah, see, there's heavily working on yourself. This also could be you approaching somebody at work to have that conversation. Because I feel like here with that Rebirth card, what it feels like to me, especially with the Hermit card, is that you are somehow bringing up some part of you that you've kept down. Sometimes we want to speak up and say something. We know it's not the right time, but then we talk ourselves out of it or we decide it just isn't worth it, or maybe have fears about doing that. But I feel like there's something here you need to have a conversation about, and I feel like you're preparing yourself for something here, especially with the Eight of Pentacles. You do have inner conflict about this. It has something to do with your past here, but I feel like you're ready to step forward. Wow, and we have the Tower. All right. Okay, Four of Cups, Five of Swords, Four of Wands, Queen of Cups. Definitely for some of you, this is somebody you have a love interest for, or somebody that you have love with. What I feel like here is there is a situation here where you seem to be preparing yourself for some sort of conversation. Now, for some of you, I feel with that Five of Swords, you could have walked away from this situation previously. Maybe you pulled away from this situation. Maybe you couldn't see it going anywhere and you've pulled away. You could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You could be dealing with an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. You could be one of those yourself. It is a general reading. But I feel like what you've done here, through some sort of issue, problem that you've had with someone, you've pulled yourself back. And I feel like you've waited the time out, but I feel like now you're starting to realize with all the work you've done, you need to be prepared. I feel like you know some sort of conversation is coming, some sort of decision is being made or contemplated, and I feel like here you want to be ready when it comes towards you. Now, again, it could be a family member, a friend. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic interest, although I feel like with many of you here, this is somebody that you are or consider yourself to be romantically involved with. I feel like somehow or another here you're feeling that you need to... Oh, I've got things everywhere around. Oh, boy. I feel like somehow or another here that you're doing deep contemplation on how to manage a situation. Let's say it like that. All right, so we have the Strength card coming through. This is exactly what you're doing with that Hermit card. So some of you may be going deep into yourself to find forgiveness. You may be going deep inside yourself to find confirmation, clarification, something within you here that you are trying to seek the answers to. But for some of you, this is about healing something within you. Okay, so very often we have situations that perhaps we walk away from angry or upset, feeling like it was the other person's fault or it was their problem or their issue. And I always say to people, even if you feel you don't need to take responsibility, you do. Regardless, there has to be some autonomy. There has to be some looking at a situation, even if you feel that you're not responsible, you still need to look at what was your part in that. So if someone's been, in any way, shape or form unfair to you, and they've done it in a way that's even unrealistic, and you want nothing more to do with them in your life, you still need to look at yourself and you still need to discover what it is about you that actually allowed that situation to occur, or what was your part in that. And I feel like we miss this a lot of the time because we're so busy sort of putting the blame on the other person that we don't always look at what was our part here. Now, that doesn't mean you need to take the blame. It doesn't mean that you are responsible. Maybe you're not. But there are still things that you could do differently next time, and every situation has a lesson. Doesn't matter what it is. There is a lesson for you to take away. And I feel like this because this is Daniel in the lion's den, taking the thorn from the foot of the lion. And although the lion was ferocious and probably could have killed him, he still put himself in that position to do that. So I feel like somehow or another this is a message for you here about understanding that perhaps there's something you need to let go of. Maybe you need to forgive someone. And remember, forgiveness is never for the other person, it's only ever for us. Because you're the one who's holding yourself back by not forgiving, which means it's hurting you more than it is them. But there's something here that is you're sort of contemplating here. You may be dealing with what you see as your divine masculine, or a person that could be a father figure. But somebody here you're seeing here has all the power. And maybe that's what you're needing to understand. Why have you given this person so much power over you? Because there is an energy here. Because the lion holds all the power in that situation. But Daniel still felt that he was able to do what was right here, regardless. So maybe you've got someone in your life that you've given your power to. All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. and the Seven of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune talks about the wheel turning to bring things round. So I feel like somebody is being brought around to something. Something is being brought back around for you to deal with. This is something I feel like has happened in your past. Something that you may still feel some regret, remorse, anger. Something you're still sitting on here. But for some unknown reason, you've given your power to the other person. So if you've blamed them, or you're holding them responsible, or you're not seeing your part in it, that means you're giving your power away to that person. If you haven't forgiven them, you're giving them your power. Because as long as they stay in your energy, as long as you're thinking about what happened, as long as it still eats away at you, you are giving the person your power. And I feel like here you have to break this illusion. You have to break through something here with the Wheel of Fortune, Seven of Cups. You have to let go of something here in order to move forward. But I feel like this is what you're doing here with the Hermit card. So you may be working on releasing something. All right, so we have the Ace of Swords. Beautiful. That's perfect energy to get right there. Page of Cups, Nine of Swords. This person is definitely coming in here to offer some sort of explanation, apology, some sort of energy back towards you with this Page of Cups. There is definitely some sort of peace offering in this cup. And I feel like the truth is coming in here as well. There is definitely a feeling of truth. All right, we have the Fool card coming through with the Moon card. Wow. And Hanged Man. Oh boy, we start off with the Hermit, we end up with the Hanged Man. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas here. 2, yeah, 3, 4, 5. No, 3. 6 major arcanas and an ace. Cool. Okay, so this is a pretty big event because the universe looks like it's steering this in your direction. I feel like something here feels very, very justice-y, really. I feel like something needs to be sorted. Something needs to be worked through. There needs to be forgiveness. There has to be a conversation. Something here is just not sitting well. And it's creating anxiety for you. And it may be creating anxiety for the other person as well. Maybe both of you on, on the same side of the fence here. There is a lot of suppressed emotion. But I feel like somebody wants a new start here with the Fool card. I feel that there has been something. I feel like for some of you here, there may have been miscommunication, or somebody's got angry or upset and closed down the conversation without really sifting through it. A lot of us come from families where you don't talk about things, and that becomes very difficult if something happens because you can't go back and talk about it. And that's really hard when you're a talker and you need to talk things through, or you're a processor and need to talk things through. But a lot of people believe you don't talk about anything. We see a lot of that in society. We've been very suppressed as human beings and unable to feel that we can be comfortable expressing ourselves. And I feel like you're dealing with this sort of situation here. So for some of you, it definitely feels like a family situation. Somebody is doing healing though. There seems to be an opportunity here to bring something around to put it right. I feel like the universe is bringing it around to you. Could be dealing with an earth sign, but I feel like there is something here that needs to be worked on. There is a lot of conflict for you in this situation. I definitely feel it's a past situation. I do feel here you could be dealing with a fire sign as well, but I do feel that you're getting ready now. So you sort of come out of the Hermit mode, going into the Queen of Wands. You're ready to take that sort of harsh stand. There is a Tower energy here, so I do feel, especially with this Four of Cups, that for some of you it could have been a situation in the past where something wasn't accepted for whatever reason, and somebody walked away from this situation, even though it looked like it could be, end up in a relationship or something long term, something stable here. I feel like there was a lot of love between you. But somehow or another, something has gone off kilter. Either somebody has said something, there's been a miscommunication, there's been some sort of argument, conflict, and it sent two people in opposite directions here. And I feel like perhaps both of you have harbored a lot of resentment or a lot of anger or even a lot of frustration because you haven't been able to talk about this situation. Because I do see a lot of anxiety here. But there is a very strong energy that somebody is offering some sort of peace offering. There is some sort of outpouring of emotion here. I don't feel with the Hanged Man that it's easy to move forward, because I feel like both of you are trying to look at things from a different perspective here. We do have the Empress and the Emperor coming out in this reading. So for some of you, it may be a twin flame that you've had some sort of energy in the past with. You've definitely crossed paths with this person before. Definitely. I feel like they could be definitely a romantic interest. But I also feel like for some of you, this could be definitely a family thing. The thing is, I see this Four of Pentacles and I feel like you've hung on to something because somehow or another it wasn't resolved. And I feel like it's bothered both parties here. And all that needs to happen is this conversation. But I feel like with the Fool here, it's about you being able to accept responsibility too. I don't feel it's all the other person's issue or problem, but it's about you accepting that you played some sort of part in this. And if you feel like you don't and that you have no lessons to learn, then it's probably not your reading and you're probably not a twin flame. It would be a family situation for you. The Magician, yeah. So at the end of the day, you've both been trying to pull each other back in to have this conversation. You've both been sort of pulling on each other's energy to move this to the next level, to have this conversation, whatever it is. I feel like it needs to be resolved regardless, though. Oh, that's really interesting. This is really interesting because I actually pulled that card out in the What's Cracking reading, and it talks about a feeling of wanting to come home, which I feel like there's something in this reading that tells me this is what's happening here. For some of you, you may be coming home to someone. But the Age of Light is here. And I feel like here this is really relevant because it's about you training for a lifetime to come to this situation. Training for lifetimes even. And I feel like somehow or another here you may have travelled with this person all through different timelines. And somehow in this lifetime something has to be put right. It cannot be put off again. So something needs to be pushed forward here. And I really strongly feel in this lifetime it is about healthy relationships. It is about us self-loving but also learning to love other people in a healthy way. So there is something definitely coming through with this energy to say to me, you may have travelled, especially if you're twin flames, through many lifetimes together, but this lifetime is where it has to be brought to some sort of conclusion. It has to be put to rest. All right, I will leave you with that. Thank you.